Guys, so as you can see by the title of this video, I'm looking for the camera. I had the baby, still in the hospital. I'm gonna try to do this fast because my labor and delivery was fast once again. I hope you guys can hear me. I know y'all see my big old forehead, but it's hair up there. But I'm just nursing the baby right now. That's why I look naked on one side. But to make a long story short, this video is not gonna be like, the quality is probably not gonna be A1 and all of that, but I want to get it done and out the way. But I had the baby November the 30th. Today is November. Today is December the 2nd. So I've been in the hospital for 1.5 days. I'm about to get discharged, so I'm waiting on that. I'm ready to go home and go to sleep. I don't know if you can tell, but I haven't been asleep in 2 days. That's how I do when I have the baby in the hospital. I just can't go to sleep. So long story short, I had a doctor's appointment on last Wednesday. For some reason, my OB is only in on Wednesdays. So yeah, I went in on Wednesday. I'm gonna try to make this long story short. Long story short, on Wednesday, my doctor swept my membranes. I went home and I had like some mild contracting, but they were irregular, so it was nothing. So this past Wednesday, which was a day and a half ago, sorry, my doctor's appointments, they always go fast. So my doctor just saw me, she checked me last Wednesday. And if I exit the video, you guys, my nurses is coming in and out. But last Wednesday I was 1 to 2 centimeters. This Wednesday I was about 3 centimeters. So she swept my membranes again. I went home. I don't think I was having any contractions that I can remember. But by the time 5 o'clock, well, it probably was like 30 minutes till 5 o'clock. And how I know, because I was taking my son to urgent care. So I was getting ready and stuff, and what I did was I bounced on the. Oh, she is biting me. I guess that means you're done. What I did was I I bounced on the tip of my bed. You know how some people use the birthing ball. Well, I didn't get one. I never got one. So I'm like, I'm just gonna bounce. Ooh. I'm gonna drop the whole phone. And I don't want to do this over. But what I did was I bounced on the, the tip of the mattress. So I did that, and my contractions started to come. So they were like irregular. They started off at 5 minutes, and they went to 3, and they went to 4, then 2, and then I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like looking at the news. But yeah, they went to like 3 minutes and 4 minutes and stuff. So I'm like, like, could this be it? But my contractions, they did that over the days. They would, like, one day I contracted all day, and so I'm like, this is not it. So I'm like, I'm gonna take my son to urgent care. But what I should have did was I should have kept my butt at home. And something told me too, like, don't go to urgent care. You need to take this time off for yourself and prepare yourself for labor. But I'm like, my son was sick, so I need to take him. So I ended up taking him to urgent care, and I was sitting there, and I was kind of having contractions, but kind of not. And if you were pregnant before, you would know, if you hold your urine, which you never ever want to do when you're pregnant, but if you hold your urine just by, I say urine, but if you hold your urine for a minute, 30 seconds or anything, like me later on in my pregnancy, when I do that, I get contractions. So I'm like, I just gotta go to the restroom. So I end up going to the restroom and they went away. So I'm like, okay, this is nothing. So I waited for them to call my son back there. They took forever, like maybe an hour or so. So by the time I got back there, the doctor ended up seeing us, and while I'm talking to the doctor, I end up having contractions. I'm like, what is this? So sorry, you guys, if my lips look nasty. Like I can't explain it, but it's almost um, like a pregnancy mask was just like on my lips. I don't know why. Um, totally off. But yeah. So I'm having contractions talking to the doctor. So the doctor prescribed my son his medicine and stuff. And as I went to go to the pharmacy, because the pharmacy is in the same facility where I go to urgent care, and I dropped his prescription. Excuse me, y'all. I dropped his prescription off, and I'm starting to have contractions. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So at this time, um, excuse me, y'all, I noticed that they're kind of frequent. I'm like, So I dropped the prescription off, and then I end up, I'm like kind of having a contraction right now. Cause I breastfed her, and y'all know how that is. But I end up, my son started crying because he wanted my phone. So what I did was I took the stroller and I pushed him back and forth for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. And every time I would go to one door to the next, I would notice by the time I hit one door and go to the next door, it was a pattern of contractions. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I call my boyfriend and I tell him, I'm like, babe, I'm having contractions, and they kind of got a rhythm. So he was like, oh man, what do you think? What do you think is gonna go on? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'll call you back. So I just kept walking back and forth, and like within 10, 15 minutes, um, I'm like, these things are like 3 and 2 minutes apart. Like already, like my contractions when they came like boom, like they didn't start at 10, 7 minutes, 5. Like when my contractions came, they came like at 3 and 4 minutes apart. So I'm like, oh man. So I took the phone from my son and I started kind of timing him, but at the same time he was crying for the phone. So, um, you know, we stayed kind of close from where I took him to the doctor. So by the time I literally got inside, when I was getting the stroller into the car, oh my God, these contractions, they were kind of painful, but it wasn't to the point to where it was like, oh my God, I can't drive home. And they were painful. They was there. So I end up driving home, and like I said, we stayed close. So I end up driving home, and I told my boyfriend, I'm like, babe, you gotta come help me get Landon out the car and get the stroller and stuff out the car. So he did that, and I'm just having these contractions. At this time, by the time I get into the house, my contractions are a minute apart, straight up. I'm like, oh my God. So myself, this is where it's gonna get short. I walk into the house to take my son in the house, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fix them something to eat and this and that, and I'm starting to time them, right? So I'm starting to time these contractions. These things are a minute apart. They're like 30 seconds long, 40 seconds long. Yeah, 30 to 40 seconds long. I'm like, uh-oh. Deep down inside, I knew. I was like, it's time to go. Like, she's coming today. But I don't know. It's like I didn't. I'm the type, I don't want to labor at the hospital, so it was like I'm gonna just wait until I can't take it. But I have a high pain tolerance, so it just didn't add up. So yeah, they're a minute apart. My boyfriend's like, you need to hurry up and go to the hospital, because mind you, I do have 2 kids, so the kids couldn't come with us, so he had to stay behind. And I ended up driving myself to the hospital. I know, don't do that, you guys, but like I said, I would have a contraction and then I'll be fine. So, I ended up driving myself to the hospital, and the labor and delivery part, the doors was closed. So I had to go through the emergency part, and I'm having these contractions and they are hitting y'all. They like a minute, a minute, like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh shoot, like this is the real deal. So my contractions just felt like with my son, just pressure down there, and like a pulling sensation. And when I was having contractions, then when I got in the car, when I took my son to the doctors, I'm listening for them to come knock at the door. Um, I felt like a tiny, like a little gush. But back to the hospital. I get to the hospital, y'all. Okay, I go to the ER, which is the hospital. Like they're doing the labor and delivery. They had the door locked and stuff, like I said. So I had to go through there, and thank God it wasn't a line. So I go to the desk and I'm telling them like I'm having contractions. And they're like, how far along are you? And they're like, I'm like 39. I was 39 weeks to that day. Um, so they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna get you to labor and delivery. They called and told them I was coming up. Should they do this and that down there? I'm like, y'all need to hurry it up. So they end up wheeling me to labor and delivery upstairs. Um, and they're taking my vitals and everything, asking questions. And the nurse was like, before you go do a sample, um, I'm gonna check you and see how many centimeters you are. So I changed my clothes, get into my gown, lay down. I'm having these contractions, and she checks me, right, and she was like, "You're 8 centimeters." I'm like, 8 centimeters? Oh my god, not this again. So I'm like, when she's getting ready to check me, I'm like, what am I? I'm probably like a 4 or 5. So when she checks me, she tell me I'm an 8. I'm like, oh my god. So she calls whatever, how they do it. Everybody is rushing. They wheeling me, asking me questions. All these doctors and nurses come from out of everywhere. They get me in a room, hook me up, and I'm still having contractions. So they hooked me up and everything. My nurses talking to me and stuff, and they like, you came in here eyebrows on fleek and lashes and stuff. Because mind you, I had a like pretty much a full day before any of this happened. So I'm dressed, I got my nails done, hair, lashes, and makeup on and stuff. So I think in their mind they thought I came into labor and delivery, or I came intentionally. I intentionally came like that, which I did have intentions. How can I say it? My intention was to go into labor, put together, like some people put braids. Like I usually have braids in my hair. This is the one time I didn't have braids in my hair, but that wasn't my intention to go like that. But people were like, the nurses like, oh my god, you're in labor, you're not acting like it, because I would literally have a contraction and I'm texting, I'm on Instagram, I'm on this and that, like I'm fine. So they hooked me up to an IV, which I hated. Uh, I'm just sitting there at this point. My water did not break this time. With my other 2 pregnancies, my water broke. It didn't. So I'm telling them, I'm like, I know that's what's stopping me from pretty much having her, because my water is not broke. Um, I want my water broke. So I know once you get your water broke, everything speeds up. So when I got to the room from the triage, they checked me again in there. I was 9 centimeters, y'all, already. So I'm like, oh my God, when y'all break my water, she's like coming. So I had to wait maybe like 30 minutes. They end up coming and breaking my water. So I waited like maybe another 15, maybe 30 minutes. And um, my contractions like got real intense. And they were hitting like with 30 seconds. So I had 2 to 3 contractions and my body was pushing. They're telling me, don't push. You got a little bit of lip left on your cervix. And I'm like, don't push. Like I had no control over it. It's like my body is pushing. So my body was like pushing. But the last 3 contractions, my body was pushing uncontrollably. The ring of fire. I'm like, this baby is coming out. I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm having this contraction. I'm like, she is coming. I'm like, she's coming out. And then the doctors are like rushing. Don't push, don't push. I'm like, once again, don't push, don't push. I'm like, she is coming out, y'all. You have to get her. So she's coming out, and I pushed one time, y'all, and she is out. I pushed one time, and this little girl came out, and that's the end of the story. Like literally. So yeah, I pushed one time, and she came right on out, uh, crying. They put her on my chest, and everybody couldn't believe it. And I don't know why my labors go so fast. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's the same story as Landon. I get to the hospital, I'm 8 centimeters. I go in the back, I'm 9 and 10. Their stories are so similar, like to the T almost. So that's my story. See y'all later. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. Yeah, it was just that fast. I think I went in at 5. Wait, I'm lying. I went in at 8 and had her at 10. Went in like around 8 something and had her at 10. So yeah, it was really, really fast. She weighed 7 pounds, 3 ounces, 20 inches long. And I think she's the smallest baby from the three. I mean, from from all three of them total. I think she's the smallest. And yeah, I'm just so grateful and blessed. And oh my God, I'm just so glad that my labor went, kind of fast like that. And my hair looks weird. But I'm glad that, everything went exactly how I wanted it to once again. Um, yeah, I'll show you guys her. And I'm going to cut this video because I'm at 16 minutes. And like I said, that's really it. That's my labor and delivery. It was fast once again. So I'm going to show you guys her if she lets me because, yeah. Hold on, you guys.